Hey guys, Vlad back here with another video. I know I've been kind of flooding your feed with some Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds videos, but I did still kind of want to make some actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. Like, obviously, is Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds not actual 5D Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, no, it's not really Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? And today I kind of want to talk about kind of an interesting, controversial kind of topic at the moment, which is Makyura the Destructor. As we all know, the card is now unlimited, and it's not gone on errata just yet. Its errata is, I think at the time of this recording, next week, I do believe, on next Thursday. I'm not entirely sure, the 25th, I can't remember. But anyway, until then, we are allowed to play with Makyura the Destructor at full power. This is a list that I basically kind of like worked on with some friends. It's extremely rough, by the way. This is definitely not the best way to play this deck, but it is. I think it's pretty fun. It's a very, very funny way to kill your opponent. You get to play a lot of funky cards, such as Gift Card. You get to play Life Equalizer, Pointer. You get to play Danger Zone. This card's absolutely ridiculous with Makyura the Destructor. It's just Graceful Charity. Hope for Escape, absolutely ridiculous card. Also has synergy with the opponent, the Red Lotus. And also, because of Life Equalizer, Gift Card, you're just drawing through your entire deck. Now, for those that don't know, Makyura the Destructor's effect is it's a level 4 warrior. It's a dark. And during a turn sent to the graveyard, you can activate trap cards from your hand. So basically, trap cards become spell cards during a turn this card is sent to the graveyard. So, as you can see, the win condition here is Blasting the Ruins and Life Equalizer. Blasting the Ruins will, we're going to use basically Chainlink 1 Blasting the Ruins on our opponent's turn, Chainlink 2 Life Equalizer, our opponent's life points will become 3,000, then chain resolves backwards, Blasting the Ruins will bop our opponent for their last remaining life points, or if your hand is extremely good, you're just going to be doing this on the first turn before they even get a draw phase, which is quite ridiculous. Now, a lot of the cards here are kind of self-explanatory. We have like 10 dangers in here. It's just, like basically, well, I'm just gonna put all the cards here to just say draw card, and you can kind of see, how many cards we're actually playing in our deck, and that's not very many. We are playing very little amount of cards in our deck. I know the trap cards don't really count, but when you have Makyura the Destructor in your deck, it's pretty ridiculous. Also, keep in mind that Armored Griffer have multiple uses in this deck because they can send cards like Zephyros, which lets you bounce back dangers to get more draws, or they can send Shadal Beast to indeed draw a card. Basically, this deck has like, I don't know, like three, like I guess like 5 garnets, I suppose. The trap cards can be considered as garnets, but the side deck is completely random, by the way. Completely just ignore this. The extra deck is also kind of, you don't really need to pay attention to it. I mean, Curious is kind of cool because if you have a hand of like full of dangers, you can just turn them into Curious, and then just send Makyura if your hand's full of traps, and you go brrr. Scary thing about Curious, though, is that if it mills 2 combo pieces, it's really bad, but that's why I'm playing Nightmare Griffin. It doesn't fix the problem if you mill both of the win conditions, but if you mill one of them, you can go Nightmare Griffin to set them, or if your opponents just aren't, like, if the life point difference just isn't 8,000, then you can go Nightmare Griffin to set something like a Pointer, usually not a Pointer, actually, maybe like Hope for Escape, or like Gift Card. Actually, maybe not even Hope for Escape. It usually just is, it's just usually Gift Card, just giving your opponent an extra 3,000 life points. And the reason why we're only playing one of each of these is because we're going to be drawing into basically our entire deck, and we want to basically draw into more cards that say draw, because we need to have 30 more cards in our graveyard to inflict 3,000 damage to our opponent. And then we have 3 Beat Cop here, and 3 Link Cross, and a Secure Guard Lamp. So this is here because Beat Cop, basically you can just turn a bunch of your monsters into, turn a bunch of the monsters in your field into Beat Cop, and then you can turn Beat Cop into Link Cross, and you can turn Link Cross another monster into Beat Cop, and you can turn Beat Cop into Link Cross. And then that's going to be putting a bunch of monsters in our grave for Blast the Ruins, and also it feels our beginning at the end, which will just lets us draw 3 cards. We're only playing 1 copy of this, though, because if you do resolve 2 copies of it, you will not be able to burn your opponent unless you send your entire extract to the graveyard, so we're only playing 1 of this. Also can be quite hard to resolve the FTK even after you do this, but usually you draw your entire deck, so it's fine. But yeah. That's the basic premise of the deck. I think I've explained everything. Suji just draws us deeper into our deck. These 2 are here for as Entis targets, or not Entis, Maximus targets, because we can send App Cologne off Maximus, and then use this effect, grab Beast to draw a card, and just discard it instantly, which is kind of cool. But yeah, and also Degari is just the best rank 4 here, just you draw 2, discard 1, pretty decent. You could potentially play Degusso Emerald, to be honest. I was thinking about it as like the second rank 4. But yeah, so that's like the entire premise of the deck. I know it's very silly, it's very, very gimmicky, but I think it's a really cool thing that I think I'm going to remember for quite a while, because it's actually kind of ridiculous to kind of, like, it just feels like you're cheating when you're playing this card. It's kind of ridiculous, and a lot of people on Dueling Book have been like, oh, this card's errata, but it's like, you have to break it to them and say, well, it's not errata just yet. Also, the reason why we're playing only 2 Makyura Destructor is the same reason why we're only playing 2 of each of the, like very minimal of these. We don't really want to draw Makyura later on to the game, and we do have so many draw cards that we're just going to hope to draw into Makyura. Or if you have a hand of, like, a bunch of dangers, you can make Curious. If you draw any of the warriors that instantly dumps Makyura, it's just also foolish. So you have, like, 4 ways to get to Makyura Engrave instantly. Also, we're just drawing through our deck. We don't really need too many copies of Makyura, but we want to see it just about enough. To be honest, it might be worth to play 3 copies of this. I haven't really done the math on this, but anyway, let's get into some replays. So the first replay I have here, it's basically just some examples of what you can do. So in this hand, we're going to be Rhoda for Grepher, discard Makyura, send Beast, draw a card, and now you're just going to see a bunch of cards drawn. Keep in mind in all these replays that whenever I do test hands with danger cards, I always just I reveal the danger, and then whatever card is closest to the extra deck gets discarded. So in this case, I went Mothman effect and discarded Self, and I drew and then discarded Zephyros, and then I activated Pot of Greed. And so yeah. Not Pot of Greed, Jar of Greed. Anyway. Then Nessie discarded Self, we got Danger Zone. This card's absolutely ridiculous. It's just Graceful Charity. It's a bit ridiculous, and then we're just going to be drawing a bunch of cards here. Hope for Escape, obviously Insanity. We just get to draw 2 here, and the beginning of the end's going to draw us 3 cards, and then a Pointer's going to reduce our life points even further, so our Hope for Escape later on will do more. We're going to increase our life points with Upstart Goblin, a Pointer to lower our life points again, Hope for Escape to draw a bunch of cards from our deck. We're going to Allure, and then in the end phase, we're going to discard our hand for Into the Void, and we're going to be flipping Blasted Ruins, Chaining Life Equalizer. Here's another hand. This is going to be Armageddon Knight, Sending Beast, and then we're basically just going to be drawing a bunch of cards again. This time we discarded Hope for Escape, unfortunately. We didn't send out Makyura because we already had one in hand. We can just discard one reliably anyway after Dugaris. And now we're just going to be drawing through our deck now. We're going to be making Beat Cop. This is where Beat Cop, like, comes up because it's going to give us a bunch of Darks Engraved for beginning of the end. We're going to draw a few more cards. Rhoda here was an unfortunate draw, but we got the Special Summon Grepher by discarding Nessie, and that gets us to Danger Zone, which gets us to Spatial Charity Effect. And we're just going to go Reckless Greed, Jar of Greed, Upstart Goblin, Gift Card, and then we just go set our win cons, just draw some cards, Pointer them again, use Jackalope. This hand was actually pretty cool. We got to use I got use of Griffin here. I got to go Griffin, discard, send Gift Card, and just go Beat Cop into Link Cross, into Secure Guard, and then in our opponent's turn, we just go Gift Card, and then we go Blessing the Ruins, Chaining Life Equalizer. It's pretty simples. Pretty simples. And then next replay here, Upstart Goblin into stuff. This hand's pretty bad, and we scoop it up. Yeah, I just wanted to show this one because you don't always draw ideal. Unfortunately, this hand, Chupacabra, hit itself. If it didn't hit itself, we'd actually have quite a good hand because we can make like Dugaris and hopefully draw into Dugaris, which would have been cool. Another hand here we open with both Warriors. Then we go Pointer, draw 2, go Chupa doesn't miss. Then we go into Dugaris, draw 2, discard Beast, which is absolutely lovely, and then we just draw a bunch of cards. It's always a bunch of fun when you're just drawing a bunch of cards. We're going to be setting beginning of the end here because we could reliably resolve it as long as something hits, and we can just go Beat Cop into whatever. Like Beat Cop into Link Cross and just puts us a bunch of Darks in our graveyard. We can go Beat Cop into Link Cross, so it's like, it gets a lot of Darks in grave already. And then we're just, it's pretty ridiculous. We're just going to be drawing through our entire deck. We're going to be drawing 5 of Hope for Escape, by the way, because our opponent's on 12k and we're on 2k, and then go, brah. And then our opponent dies. Yeah, and then here's, I think, the last replay. Rhoda for Grepher, Grepher discard, send Beast, draw 1, draw Jar of Greed, go a Pointer so we can rip a hand trap so we can resolve Danger Zone, and then we just keep drawing through cards in our deck. Whee! Look at them go. Look at all them go. And then I'm going to draw 2, discard Zephyros, make Beat Cop, make Link Cross, banish a bunch of Darks, draw some cards at the beginning again, and we get to go Pointer again, and then we get to go Hope for Escape. By the way, cool thing about Pointer in this deck is that it just removes it until your opponent's next end phase, so even if you don't FTK them somehow, you're going to be ripping a bunch of cards from their hand. That's always cool. I love ripping cards from my opponent's hand. And then we're just going to be doing some dangers. Chupa misses, unfortunately. We don't go Hope for Escape because it would actually deck us out. Yeah, and then we're just going to go into a bunch of dudes just to put monsters in our graveyard. And then we're going to be going Blast in the Ruins into the Life Equalizer. So there you guys have it. This card's absolutely ridiculous. And I just wanted to make a video on it because I think it's really funny that it's legal. and I wanted to make another Yu-Gi-Oh video. So this kind of stemmed the, like, I kind of want to throw in a few Yu-Gi-Oh videos in between these Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds videos, which, once again, I'm very, very thankful for that they are popping off. I'm so thankful. I've gained like 1,000 something subs with this month alone, which is absolutely insane. Thank you all so much. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.